Okay, so we're here with the owner of Good Beans, Gabe,
Hi.
and he is going to explain to us a little bit about what makes Good Beans unique and even why he hadn't had the crazy idea to start his own coffee shop when there's so many options out there, and especially so many big dogs that are playing the same game. So when did the light bulb first go off?
I always liked coffee, like even when I was a teenager, and I used to go. That's when the specialty coffee like scene, if you will, started here in El Salvador. We're talking about 2005, 6, and 7. That's when a lot of main stores that you know today that are local actually got their start. Having said that, I was like a customer, but you know I wasn't working on it anyways. At the end of 2008, I actually moved to Switzerland, and I lived in Switzerland for about 5 years. And that was actually like my first job ever in my life as a as an adult human being. Was
like
as a
moving
barista.
out of school, so it's like, what am I gonna do? Well, what do I do all day? I love to drink coffee.
Yeah, pretty much. And I actually started as a barista in Switzerland. I really liked it. It was a small shop, not too dissimilar from the one we're sitting on right now in size and everything. Just outside like university. So it was busy. I mean, we used to get like big rushes of people, and I learned how to make coffee efficiently. But the main thing is, yeah, that really sparked my love of coffee, and I always, ever since then, really, I always wanted to have a coffee shop. I did a bunch of things in between.
Yeah.
But now here we are.
Yeah, it's like those low 20s when you're just dabbling and what about this? What about this? And then you finally hit that point where you're just like, okay, time to get serious.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done like a lot of random things. But I came back to coffee because, in all honesty, I mean, being here from El Salvador, this is, you know, a country which whole entire history has revolved around coffee in one way or another for the past at least 150 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's I guess how this whole crazy dream started.
Okay, what have you done to kind of make your coffee stand apart? Like, what is the Good Beans experience?
The main thing that we do like differently at Good Beans is, well, we like to focus on a few different things. Firstly, and like this is the main requirement for anything that we do in the store, is that it has to be 100% Salvadoran. Like we really take that seriously because like a lot of places, a lot of the big guys, they will import coffee from different countries in Latin America, and we have one of the best coffees in the world here. So, I mean, personally, I think we shouldn't be importing coffee. But a lot of that coffee, historically, all the good stuff has just been exported and shipped out of El Salvador. And here, I mean, even when I was a little kid, like I told you, the specialty coffee, like the really good coffee scene here in El Salvador started when I was like already like 15, 16, 17 years old. But even when I was a little kid, there was not, like there were not a lot of places. Like my mom used to go to, say, La Panetier. That was a place in the early 90s that was doing coffee, that kind of thing. But like historically, all the good coffee in El Salvador has just been, you know, it's been grown, it's been processed, and it's been dried. And as green coffee, it's been put in boat, it's been shipped overseas,
sent
away for like 150 years. And up until like 20 years ago, none of it used to stay here. But more recently, a lot of like specialty coffee, like most of it that's sold in El Salvador is Salvadoran. But more recently, with some of the big places, there's been like a push to start already like importing coffee from different places, which I'm sure it's great. You know, they have great coffee, but so do we. And I honestly believe we should support like local. So like
But what makes you different in that? I mean, I can go to a big guy and know how to give me Salvadoran coffee, but what makes you guys different in Salvadoran impact, I guess you could say?
Look, a tree, I always like to tell this story, like a single coffee tree, if you plant the seed today, about 4 years time, you'll get your first harvest. And every year after that, from each individual tree, you'll get enough harvest to roughly make, there's a pound of roasted coffee. That's what a tree produces. If El Salvador just exports this, like it's most of what it's done, we just exported green unroasted in like big sacks, and you stick them onto like a big boat, and the value, it's the lowest value item in the entire value chain. It's like the raw material, if you will.
Yeah.
So right now, pretty much like today's prices, like a pound of green coffee is under $2. So a tree will produce for El Salvador for the course of a year about $2 worth of value. If you do the entire value chain here, you're not only helping like the coffee farmer, but also like the roaster, the roasting equipment manufacturer, because like the actual roasting machine is actually built here in El Salvador. The bags that we use are made here in El Salvador. When we actually ship our coffee worldwide, like direct to consumer, and the bags, the labels, the shipping company, we use El Salvador Mail for this actually. And so if you think about it that way, we are doing it the way we're doing it. Not only the end consumer, say if you're someone in the States and you want to order coffee, you're going to get a better price through us, but 100% of those profits are actually going to get to El Salvador. So each tree will produce for El Salvador through this model about $20.
Nice.
As opposed to $2.
So a little bit of what's made here stays here.
Yeah, everything stays here, and like across all different industries. Not only the coffee industry. I mean, it's the packaging industry, the logistics industry, the design industry. I mean, the printers for the labels. There's all sorts of like different people, that get involved, and it creates jobs along the way, which is I think the most important.
Awesome.
And local companies that not only are locally owned but employ locals here in El Salvador. So once you buy that pound of coffee, really as a consumer, the money in the end goes to where the actual product was grown and helps all the communities and all the industries here in El Salvador that are around like the whole coffee.
Tell me, what in the world is this thing?
Yeah, so this is an espresso sunrise. It sounds really weird, but it's really good. It's orange juice with like a shot of espresso, and like, we serve it like this so that people can see the difference. But recommend people mixing it in, and it's like incredibly refreshing. It tastes like it's a great morning beverage. Like we honestly, because it's not a common drink, not worldwide, it's not really a common drink, but especially like here in El Salvador. And when people try it, like they're usually like, what is this? They ask, okay, what's this on the menu? And we tell them, oh, it's an espresso sunrise, it's orange juice and espresso. And they go like,
what?
Is that good? Yeah, right?
Orange juice and espresso.
It's a natural reaction. Some people think it's going to taste like, when you brush your teeth and you have orange juice, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah,
but it totally works. It's delicious. And we actually give the people like, okay, you know what? If you don't like it, I'll change it for like really anything else you want in the store. No worries. No one's ever returned.
You kind of have a little bit of a guarantee on it.
Yeah, it's a guarantee, because I know it's good, but I know it also sounds weird. But really, seriously, every person that's tried it and that I'm really liking it, and there's like people who tried one time and now that's literally like all they order is the espresso sunrise.
Well, and the fact that you're located here in San Benito, you're like straight across from the Escuela Marquilisuat.
Yeah.
And so like the traffic in the morning, you're sitting there and you're stuck in the traffic in the morning. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go get my shot of sunrise so I can, aguantar and live through this traffic in a little bit happier attitude.
No, definitely. It's a great morning drink. It'll wake you up, and it's, it's refreshing, and
you get your vitamin C, you get your shot of caffeine.
Yeah, you get everything there. It's like a little breakfast on the go, right? You can also grab like a pastry or a sandwich and be to go. A lot of our customers are actually to go. We have for San Benito, we have like 9 parking spots in total between us and the shop next door. So that's pretty good actually for San Benito standards.
Yeah. Okay, now, also, the other cool thing that I really like about Good Beans is that they have creations, artisan creations, that you can't really find at any of the big stops. Like, for example, this is their Iberia, right? Iberico, sorry. This is their Iberico. And check it out. It has sprouts. This is the first place I've ever seen sprouts in El Salvador. And if you don't know, alfalfa sprouts is kind of like a superfood. And the Iberico, it has prosciutto, right? Or
It actually, so it has a jamón ibérico, a Spanish ham. Also, what's commonly known here as jamón serrano. But it's all Spanish ingredients. It's really good. It's like a Mediterranean sandwich. Manchego cheese, Spanish ham, Spanish chorizo, and Spanish sausage with like a little pesto that we use. That's pretty good. The alfalfa sprouts, and the bread is sourdough bread.
It's sourdough bread. Yeah.
Sourdough bread actually made in El Tunco of all places.
Oh, awesome! Again, supporting Salvadorian. All the money is supporting Salvadorian businesses. So here, I'm gonna try this out. I love the pesto. The pesto is wonderful. And that ham, that Spanish ham, it's a lot like prosciutto.
Yeah, it's very similar to prosciutto.
That's really good.
It's very similar to prosciutto, and I think the alfalfa sprouts, bring it up a little bit of additional texture. Because we also serve that with a bagel, which is softer. The sourdough is like crunchy by itself. Has a very nice crust and everything. And again, locally made, local ingredients, artisanally made. We don't get the sourdough from like a big factory. It's literally like a family that makes this.
I love it. Okay, and since I am a big fan of well, as you guys probably know from seeing my other videos, I love El Salvador's hot chocolate. I do not like American hot chocolate with all the milk and all the sugar that they dump in there. It's like 10% cocoa, right? And so I love El Salvador's hot chocolate because it's more of a dark chocolate. But if you know the little tablets that you can buy in the grocery store, they're actually more like 20% cocoa and 80% sugar. But this is his hot chocolate. And tell me about your blend.
Sure. Our hot chocolate is actually made in the town of San Pedro Nonualco, which is basically like getting to the east on the central part of El Salvador, on like the foothills of Chichotepec volcano. That's where the farm is located, and they make this chocolate. It actually is a Rainforest Alliance certified. It's certified organic, and we do a blend between the actual cocoa from the cacao tree, 30%. So it's 60% cacao, 30% panela, which is like a Salvadoran raw cane sugar.
Okay.
And the other 10% is basically like almonds and spices. So it's completely dairy free. There's no dairy in it, but it's also very
and
like
it has
creamy.
like the cinnamon that is typical
cinnamon.
of El Salvador's hot chocolate. And check this out. He even sells the cocoa seeds. And he sells like the full 100% pure cocoa. And he also has like a 95% cocoa. But you can actually buy the seeds and grind them up yourself. I'm gonna try one.
You can buy them, you can just grind them. They're a great snack. They're so full of antioxidants.
This is your superfood right here.
That's a superfood. It has like about 400 times. Coffee already has a pretty good chunk of antioxidants, but cacao, like gram by gram, is about 400 times the amount.
So other really cool things that he has here is, tell us about your postres.
Yeah, so we have different desserts here in the store, and a lot of them, some of them we have them all the time, but a lot of our desserts we have, they're changing constantly. So one of the things we have is like our loaves. We usually have like 3 or 4 kinds. We usually have fig, which is Salvador, and it's really popular with Salvadorans, like fig pie, but we turn it into like a fig loaf. We have banana bread. We have different things. Just trying right now is our apple pie turnover.
Yeah.
And, it's actually like we put a crust of sugar on top, and since we use it, we cook it up on the broiler. It creates that crust like kind of like a creme brulee thing. So it's pretty crunchy and.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. They're really good, and you can usually find this one here. But we have different desserts that are like on rotation.
I love here with the filo, and the filo is really light, but I love, like you said, that the outside is so it's caramelized.
Yeah, it's
crispy,
caramelized sugar,
but it's not like a creme brulee where you have like a really thick caramelized. It's a really light caramelized coating over the top of the whole turnover, and it's really good. Okay, this food has not disappointed at all. But again, the whole point of this is Salvadoran coffee. So what makes your Salvadoran coffee different from a big brands or from something you get at, say, if I go straight to the farm?
So I think we have our main goal is really to provide like really good quality. The farm itself, most of our coffee comes from one farm in Ataco. It's called Via España. It's been run by the same family since 1867, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
They're like
wow.
the sixth generation of like the same family owning this farm. And I actually met the current grower, like the current generation. This is my buddy Alfredo. We met in elementary school.
Oh,
So
cool.
we've pretty much known each other our whole lives. I've been to that farm. I think the first time I was in that farm was probably like 95, 96. I was like
Mm-hmm.
4, 5, 6 years old. Like the first time I went to Beneficio Galicia, the mill, again around the same time. And since we know each other our whole life, like we developed this like really direct trade relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We pay about 3 to 4 times as much on average as like the going sea market rate for like generic Arabica coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And as such, then the farm actually does like a lot of different initiatives and helping other people out that actually like work the land.
To help the community out.
Help the community out, and again, like part of our deal is even the bags that we use are made in El Salvador.
Mm-hmm.
So anywhere we can help the economy and contribute to the economy of the country, we try to do it. Like if we find any product that even if it's more expensive, but if it's made in El Salvador, we go for the made in El Salvador one as opposed to going for one that's imported, even though it might be cheaper. Because we really think that I mean, at least for me, it's very important to try to support this country grow as much as I can. And sure, I could just buy the coffee here, and I could get the Chinese bags or whatever. Might be cheaper to do it that way, but really, that's my goal, to help out in all sorts of different things. Like the bags are made by a company in Lopango, for instance.
Yeah.
The labels are designed here. They're printed here. Everything that we can do, really. The cardboard boxes we use for mailing, they're actually again made in El Salvador. So any little thing we can, we try to.
Well,
find
and
a cool one.
that kind of checks off the fourth thing on my priority list. You guys know, if you watch my channel, like the only businesses that I will promote or permit on my channel are Jeni Ari approved, and that means that 1, they're bilingual, 2, they're 100% Salvadorian owned, 3, they have a responsabilidad social, or they're actually giving back to the community, giving back to the elevation of all of El Salvador, especially the poor. And 4th, they understand high quality standards, and they stand for high quality standards and expectations. And that's another big reason why I'm here at Good Beans. Now, can you explain, now what about the different types of coffees?
Okay. So we have our main 2 coffees. These are the ones you're going to find all year. I don't know if you can see them, but we have Torogos, which is the national bird of El Salvador. That's like our house roast. That's our main bean here. And we have Mapache, the raccoon. All of our labels are really like animals from El Salvador.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, every label that we ever had is like an animal that lives here in El Salvador. Like for example, the
I've never seen a mapache.
Oh, you've never?
It?
Yeah,
Have you
I've seen them. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You can
That's
see
a
them.
new thing on my list.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
see a mapache.
You gotta see them a bunch. And this is the dark roast. So these two beans, we have them all the time, and you can either buy them in store or order them online. But we try to keep these all the time. They're always fresh because we roast every Sunday, pretty much.
Okay.
And we have our Guacamaya limited edition series, and like, what I really love about this coffees. Firstly, we getting new ones all the time. This is where we have the guest coffees from different farms come in. Like for instance, right now we have a Pacamara honey from the Chichontepec volcano. It's another one of the growing regions in El Salvador. That's up in eastern El Salvador. That coffee, I mean, it's really delicious. Pacamara is a variety that was actually invented. Might be. It's a hybrid that was made here in El Salvador in the 1950s. It's not like GMO or anything like that. It's just like grafting. They grafted two different varieties, pacas, which again, it's a variety from El Salvador with Maragugipe to get the best attributes of each. So right now we have the Pacamara honey. We also have like Geisha. Geisha is like a coffee that's very light bodied but very sweet, very floral. It's one of those like really fancy special coffees you hear about in the world. But I think my favorites of the ones we have there are the weird processes and weird fermentations. Like the farm that we work with.
The weird fermentations.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's because with coffee, there's good weird and bad weird, but with coffee, the good weird, let me put it like that way, are like the coffees that taste more like different things and like more exotic flavors. They're very fruity, very floral, that are very identifiable. Like you drink a coffee and you go like, wow, I didn't even know coffee could taste this way. And that's with the natural processes and the anaerobic fermentations that you can achieve these flavors to be imparted onto the beans. So that's what we really try to focus on the Wara series, like introducing people to like new flavors. Like this is great coffee, like, but they're more like traditional chocolatey profiles, whereas the other ones are very fruity, very out there, very vibrant. And those are personally the type of coffees that I love. Because like everyone is so different and so full of character that it's good. It's great. Like you could be drinking all 5 of them right now, and you would see like distinct differences between them. Very distinct differences between them. You wouldn't go like, oh, this one just tastes like coffee. No, this one tastes like strawberries. That kind of thing. So and it's all just coffee. There's no strawberries in the process. There's no other fruits. There's no other flavorings or anything. Nothing like that is added.
But is it just is it like the bees, kind of like when they have like or when they have like orange blossom honey, is like the bees kind of get or whatever fertilizes the flowers? What gets that infusion into the beans?
So basically, there's different ways of like processing coffee, and this is.
What is your way? What do you do for your processing?
Most coffee in the world is washed. What does washed coffee mean? So you pick the cherry from the tree, and then you mechanically separate the pulp and everything, the pulp, the skin, the mucilage, all that stuff. You mechanically separate it from the actual bean with water.
Okay.
With it, a lot of the flavors go. Why do they do this? Because to prevent any type of fermentations in order to, at the end of the day, get a very consistent result.
Yeah.
And a very, like, standardized taste.
Yeah.
But you don't have to, which is, like, the cool thing. Like, for example, our Torogos or Mapache ones, those are called they're called the semi-wash process. What is the semi-wash process? Instead of you mechanically separating everything with water, you mechanically separate the husk and everything and the actual like fruit parts from the seed with just the tiniest bit of water, and it's just mechanical agitation and separation. So you don't wash all the flavors out, essentially doing it that way. And then but you get more of like those chocolate notes, and there's still a little bit of remaining sweetness in there. But with the Guara series, that's where you have the naturals. That's where you have all the crazy fermentations. And basically what this means, once you pick the cherry out, if you just pick it out and throw it, on a patio, or like they're called African beds, which are like just raised platforms to dry coffee. if you dry it whole, then all those juices and all the fruit part, just seeps into the bean while it's drying in the sun.
Makes sense.
The problem with that is that it's you're very much in the hands of nature at that point. So a lot of farmers don't necessarily like doing that. That used to be, it's called the natural process, but it used to be the way coffee was processed, for centuries, but things can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So,
birds can come down.
Birds can come down. Say you're drying the coffee and you have a very out of season storm.
Oh,
okay, you might deal. Yeah, you might deal with mold. You might deal. So there's like so many variables. And because the natural process, and because every year you have a different season, different rain patterns, different amount of sunlight, different everything. Not every year it's going to taste the same. Some years it's going to be better than others. So if you wash it, you remove all that inconsistencies.
Yeah.
But some inconsistencies can be good.
I love about, say, artisan stuff. You're not getting the same old manufactured, like McMuffin sandwich, wherever you are. The whole point of coming and getting something totally local is that it's more of an experience than it is just filling your belly. It's like, I'm gonna come try this, and I like his bourbon stuff, but he's got this new dark roast, and it's something familiar, but maybe with a little twist.
Yeah. And a lot of our customers, that's what really they like, that they can come to the store and try something different. Mm-hmm. Like, I have customers that, like I told you, they order the same thing every day. Mm-hmm. But I have customers that every time they come, they want to try, what's new? And like, that's what they ask. I have customers that go to our method bar, and they just pick a coffee and, I want to try this one today. Why? Because I haven't tried it. Yep. And because it's new, and because I want that new experience. And who knows? It might be okay. It might not be to my taste. I might absolutely love it. And that's part of the fun of it. That's really, to me, that's where a lot of the fun of it is. I wouldn't like it if I just had the same one coffee all the time. I like the variety, and I like changing. Yeah. So for those who like their same, coffee all the time, we have the Toro and the Mapache all year. And for those who want to try a different coffee each time, we have.
Awesome. This is so cool. I love your place. Thank you so much for this whole experience. And if you are in San Benito or around San Benito and want to have a truly unique coffee experience without necessarily having to go all the way to a taco, without necessarily having to go to different areas of El Salvador, say you only have a couple days and you're in San Sal, swing by Good Beans, and they will bring it to you, and you can have that whole experience just right here. I am Jeni Ari, shining my light so you can shine yours, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.